during the Vietnam years. I was in the American military from 1965 to 1975. And we started the buildup in Vietnam in 1965, and of course Saigon fell in 1975. And I learned as a young boy / man that when you go into countries, go into foreign countries with ground forces and you stay there and you try and do social engineering, you invariably end up in shark-infested waters, and you invariably end up getting your snout whacked. Right? This is why I was one of the principal opponents of the Iraq War. I couldn't believe that the United States of America was seriously thinking about invading and occupying a country, an Arab country in the Middle East. Going into Afghanistan, I remember in 1979 when the Soviets invaded Afghanistan, most of my colleagues in the national security community were aghast. They said, "Oh my God, the Soviets have invaded Afghanistan. They're on the march. This is the end of the world." I said, "Are you crazy? This is the best thing that could ever happen to the United States. They just jumped into a giant quagmire. You want to invade Afghanistan? You want to invade Iraq?" French told us, don't go into Vietnam. We foolishly went in. You know what happened to us? We get out, finally in 73. Saigon falls in 75. And then the Chinese go into North Vietnam in 1979. You know what happened to them? They got their snouts whacked. So if you're thinking about going into Syria, doing social engineering at the end of a rifle barrel, you better think long and hard about that, because those stories usually do not end happily. And the principal reason is nationalism. Nationalism. We live in a world where the most powerful political ideology is nationalism. And nationalism is all about self-determination. People do not like other people's coming in and telling them how to run their politics. You know how angry Turks are about Syrians violating your sovereignty? You do not like at all the idea of Syrians violating your sovereignty and killing your citizens. Well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And you can rest assured that people in other countries don't want you coming in telling them how to run their politics. Now, I said before, and I'll say it again, there may be circumstances where you have to go in. There may be circumstances. Sometimes you just have to do things that are very distasteful and very difficult. But my basic point to you is that you want to go to enormous lengths to not use ground forces to invade another country.